Yo, welcome back again today, guys. Today, I'm going to be cooking a quick dish that I make, right? A vegetarian, vegan dish. Even if you eat meat, you can still eat this dish. This is a dish that I cook a lot. I like it. It's refreshing. It's zesty, right? It got butter. It got all kind of things in it. So, I thought I would do something a little different today. I haven't did a food video where I cook for a while. It's been a long time. I'm not the best cook, but here's a quick recipe and a quick way to make a delicious dish that you can eat whenever and on the go. If you got a good 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on how fast you cook. I don't cook that fast. Well, sometimes I do. But let's go get into the food. So I have 2 lemons. Now we're gonna zest it, something really quick, something light. So I just zest it any way that I want, right? This might not be exactly the right way, but I'm just zesting. I'm gonna zest probably, we want a lot of flavors, so I'm gonna zest as much as the outside as I can. Let's see, how much can we get? Yo, my zesting skills is not the best, so don't judge me. I'm just doing what I can. Let's try to zest like most of it, if I can do it. I actually need to get a new zester. Is that what this is called? Zester? Who knows? So I think that's pretty good. Let me zest a little bit more of the other lemon a little bit. I didn't zest the whole thing, but because the way it's positioned, like, I just feel like it's easier just to zest the rest of a next lemon. This is just a dish that I do really quickly. So I usually use 2 lemons and I take the lemon juice out of both lemons after I zest the lemon. So I think that's enough zest, maybe a little bit more. This is a great dish for vegetarians, vegans, even if people eat meat. Like, it's a good dish for real. Right here we got our fresh organic spinach. I'm gonna cook that down. So basically I'm gonna start the sauce with like a butter sauce, a butter lemon sauce. And I'm gonna cook that down just a little bit on low. And I'm gonna add this organic spinach, and then we have organic mushrooms. You can cut your mushrooms up a little bit smaller if you want, but I just like big mushrooms, so it doesn't really matter to me. All right, so let's get a little bit of olive oil, right? Like to coat the pan pretty good, because I'm actually gonna mix the olive oil with the vegan butter. And I'm just gonna coat it real quick so it goes all the way around. Chef Johannes. All right, turn the heat up a little bit. Now I don't want to turn it up too high because I want it, while I'm putting the lemon juice in there and while I'm putting the other ingredients, I want it to sort of kind of like simmer. I'm not trying to fry it. And I think a lot of times what happens is when you start to cook, a lot of people, especially when you start to begin to cook, you like to cook fast. Some things you can cook faster than others, but what I've noticed for me personally is that when things take a little bit longer and I take my time a little bit longer in certain dishes like this, then I think it's like as you gradually go, because you're making the pasta as well. And while you're making the pasta, you sort of kind of don't want the things to burn. So let me go ahead and put my water on real fast. I'm gonna so I turned the heat on a little bit for the oil, let it warm up just slightly, slowly. And then I'm gonna put some Himalayan pink sea salt into my water, right? Maybe just a little bit more. Depending on how big your pan is, you don't really want to put that much in there because it will be too salty, right? Now let's turn the water on. Let's get that boiling a little bit. And then what we're gonna do, so the oil's warming up just a little bit, right? While the oil is warming up, I want to put some butter. Now I'm gonna put a lot of butter because this is going to be like half butter, half oil type thing. So I don't have any type of way, like I don't use a fork or spoon. Well, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So, and I really don't measure. I just sort of kind of put as much as what I think I should put in there. But of course you want it to be buttery and you want it to be lemony, right? And I'm obviously gonna have some spinach and mushrooms in there as well. Come on, get out of there. So I think a little bit more, right? Cool. And then, you know, you can always add more if you need it as well. So I got the butter in there. I'm gonna let that melt a little bit slowly. The water's on, it should be boiling pretty soon. Let me turn it up a little bit higher so it kind of catch up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the lemon. When I take the lemon, I'm just going to cut it in half, to be honest with you. I like to just cut it in half, and then I just squeeze the juice out myself. Like, I know people got squeezers, I know y'all advanced and all those things, but I'm not really that, I don't really use a squeezer. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, I don't use one. So what I'm gonna do is, the butter's in there. I'm gonna put the juice in there first with the lemon. I'm just gonna go ahead and squeeze all this lemon in there. I know people, you know, they got squeezers and all that, but I just use my hands, man. That's where the love is, you know what I'm saying? So the water's heating up. I personally turn my water up gradually sometimes because I like to regulate when I cook. So I'm not the best person at cooking super fast, right? I'm not a professional chef, but I try sometimes. But for today, I just gradually, so I turn up the water to a certain temperature and then I heat it up because I want my noodles to be able to cook pretty quickly, but not too quickly. And I want to make sure that they're sort of al dente, right? A tidbit on the firmer side. So when I put it into the sauce, it can cook a little bit more. And we'll use some of that noodle water. And when we use some of that noodle water, we'll actually put it in here with the noodles, right? And we'll actually keep a little bit of the water in case this like sauce gets a little bit too thick. So now I think I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my zest, my lemon zest. So what we're gonna do now, what I like to do, I like to take the spinach and just throw the spinach in there. I really like spinach because it cooks down, so even if you seem like you have a lot, it's gonna cook down. I like baby organic spinach, you know, I just like raw spinach. Sometimes I eat it raw, sometimes I eat it cooked. It just depends on what I'm trying to do. And then obviously we're gonna throw in the mushrooms too as well, you know. I think that the mushrooms can cook down slowly, and this sauce is looking good. Now, I think I wanna add a little bit of pepper. And let's see, I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper. I ran out of my expensive pepper, so now we're just using regular black pepper, but we add a little bit of pepper. Just a little bit. Give it a little bit of flavor. Let's move it around a little bit. Yeah. That's starting to look good right there. Now while that's cooking a little bit, I could turn it down a little bit. Don't be scared to regulate the heat. That's something I had to learn. Because I thought once something was simmering, I'm like, oh, let me keep it at the same heat. But let's go ahead and throw the noodles in. So let's go ahead and throw some noodles in. Got some noodles, let's throw them in. They'll cook down a little bit, don't worry about it. If you're new to making noodles or making a pasta, they will definitely cook down. So it's like, you know, obviously you have to wait a little bit. They'll cook down a little bit, you push them in, it'll be all good. This sauce, man, this sauce is smelling good right here. This is gonna be delicious. Now I know people are gonna tell you to cut up the garlic. You can if you want. I don't do it. What I do is I turn my sauce down a little bit and I just add garlic and I mix it around. I add a whole piece of garlic in there and I just mix it around. Try to get a little bit of flavor out of it. And then I just take it out. To be honest with you, I just eat it because I just like garlic. I'm gonna be honest with you. You don't have to do this part. You don't have to add garlic. A lot of people do, but I just add it to give it a little bit of the flavor of the garlic to the sauce. And to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest like fan of chopping. I chop things, but I'm not the best at it. I'm not like Gordon Ramsay or anybody like that where I can chop super duper fast. So I just put garlic in there either after I just chop it up and I put it on top of my pasta, or I just put it inside my sauce, let some of the flavor come out. It's just a technique that I use. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong. Obviously there's probably some chef that might look at me and be like, that's crazy, like that's backwards, but you know, that's how I do it. So I just want to get a little bit of flavor, and at the end I take it out, and depending on the flavor, you know, depending on my mood that day, I might just eat the whole garlic with my pasta, just in one bite or two bites. And then after you coat your mouth with that garlic, you don't really need no more garlic after that. All right, so let's just go ahead and add some of the noodles, right? Try to be as non-messy as possible, but I just transfer them. Bam. You see that? Right to the pan. Right to the pan. Take a little bit of that starchy water with it, right? So you can mix it with the sauce, okay? And then just mix it around. Still got the garlic in there. Still got the mushrooms. Got a nice little lemon sauce. This smells very fresh, very good. Yo, mix it with the sauce. Look, I try to be neat, but you know, it could be a little messy, right? Mix it with the sauce. And I think cook it for a little bit longer. You want to make sure you coat it really good and cook it, maybe I would say another 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes. And you want to make sure that they're just a little bit al dente, a tidbit firm when you take them out the water, so they can finish up cooking in the pan. Let them sit for a second, maybe not interrupt them so much. Just want to make sure it was mixed good. And then we're gonna go in for a taste test. I hope you guys like this little quick vegetarian vegan pasta dish. There might be a name for it in Italy, I don't know, but I just call it my lemon mushroom spinach pasta. Yo guys, so now I got the pasta dish. Let's go in for a bite. It's done. Yo, cheers. Perfect amount of butter, that zesty lemon. We got the mushrooms. This is the dish right here, guys. The spinach, it gives it a nice hearty, sort of like a sauce taste, adds onto the sauce. I might have to start being a chef for real. Great quick dish that will make you full, make you feel good. Please like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, get all my videos. Add me on all social medias, which is African Network. Till next time, guys, keep eating.